Hello, and welcome to this edition of the MeetYourAngels.com podcast. I'm Paul Gordon, and I'm your host. Today we're going to be talking about one of the angel oracle cards that were created by Doreen Virtue. The deck that I'm using today, this one is called the Archangel deck, and they have several different cards which have different themes on them. So the card that I pulled for today talks about, it says here, remember who you are. And the fine print on it says, Archangel Michael is telling you, you are powerful, loving, and a creative child of God. You are very loved. So the question is, why is this coming up for us today? A lot of people are on what I call automatic pilot. They really go through life without thinking about what's happening. They get up in the morning, they go to work, they pay bills, they go to bed, they get up in the morning, they go to work, they pay bills, blah, 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 blah. Same old thing, day in and day out. And a lot of people, unfortunately, have no satisfaction in their life. They don't know what love is. They don't have happiness or joy. They really aren't even feeling at all. They aren't alive. And I have a saying that says, live life with life, no matter what it takes. Well, if for whatever reason you stumble across this message, it's kind of like a wake-up call. It's a little nudge that's saying, hey, wake up, start living. Remember who you are. You're created in the image and likeness of God. God is the creative life. God is, you see, rather than just, the word is a verb, to be, and it implies action, and a lot of people are couch potatoes. We've become a society who have become inactive, and so the first part of this card again, it says you are powerful. Let me put this card up here again. You are powerful. I don't know too many people who feel powerful. A lot of people feel very weak, not only physically weak, but they don't feel empowered. They don't feel as if their voice is important. They don't feel as if they can make any changes in this life, because everyone else has the power and people come from a stance of weakness. So the first part of this is remember who you are. As a child of God, as someone who's created in the image and likeness of God, God is all-powerful. And we too have the power to create. We have the power to make change. We have power to bring life to new situations in our life. And in the past I've talked about the movie The Secret. Everyone's talking about it. The movie's wonderful, and I think you should watch it. But you don't need the movie in order to make change in your life. It's quite simple. You either like where you are and like what you're doing, or you don't. If you don't like what you're doing, you have to change. You've heard the saying, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. So don't sit there and complain. I get calls all the time from people who want to complain, oh, my life is this, my life is that. Yeah, okay, so what? You are who you are because of your past actions and your response to your environment. I don't want to sound mean or, I am compassionate, but sometimes being compassionate, you have to challenge people to actually get off the couch and to go and do things, okay? So the first part says, you are powerful. If you don't like what's happening in your life, change it. You must gather within your strength from all the different dimensions, spiritual dimension, your emotional, your physical, and then you go forward and you say, okay, I don't like where I'm at, and now it's time to change. And as you change, you become what's called a catalyst for change in other people's lives. So if you're sick and tired of being negative with your friends and family, go ahead and talk to them and say, hey, you know what? You are one of my best friends and I love hanging out with you, but you know what? I'm really kind of tired of being so negative. We keep talking about the same negative things. Let's do something good. Let's be positive. And it takes just a little bit of courage to do this. But again, you are powerful. And this creative aspect is the next thing it says. Well, actually, the next part says, you're loving. And in the New Testament, a question was asked of Jesus, and it says, Jesus, what is the greatest commandment? And it was kind of a trick question, because at the time that Jesus lived, the society was very legalistic. And in the Old Testament of the Jewish people, there were over 600 laws in the Torah. And these laws were very specific, and they helped govern how people lived. And they said, what's the greatest commandment? And it was this legal question. And his response was kind of a shock. It says, well, the greatest commandment is to love. To love God with your whole body, mind, and soul. And then he says, the second commandment is like it. To love. To love your neighbor as yourself. So, what role does love play in your life? A lot of times it hurts to love. With love comes sacrifice. Now, it's easy to love good people. It's easy to love nice people. But ultimately, so Jesus is saying, you must love God. And you must love your neighbor as you love yourself. And then we hear this other thing that says, love your enemies. Well, that's a hard one. Because for whatever reason, these people in our lives who rub us the wrong way, who make us feel bad or insignificant, who we have conflict with, we're supposed to actually love these people. Now the card is saying, you are loving. Remember who you are. You are created in the image and likeness of God. God is love. Okay? So, they also say that actions speak louder than words. Love, to love, is also another verb. It's an action verb. We are to do. We are to love. How do we show our love? It's not just a state of being, to be in love. It's also an action verb. And so actions speak louder than words. How do you show those people in your life that you love them? Have you told them? Again, another verb. Have you told them how much you love them and that they're significant in your life? Can you imagine what a wonderful place this would be if people could actually speak from their truth? If they could go to their friends and family and say, I love you and thank you for everything that we've shared together, the good and the bad. I appreciate everything that you've given, everything that you've done with me and for me. And I look forward to being with you again in the future. And if you need anything, come to me. Let me know, because I am there for you. I want to be there for you. If we can speak this truth and share this with the people that we love, and then they in turn do the same to the people that they love, that's another very powerful thing. The first statement says, you are powerful. So take your courage, gather your strength, and tell people. Be loving. Show them that you love them. Okay? So the last part of that, love your enemies. How do we do that? For me, I've had people in my life. I've been in customer service for years and years and years. My last corporate job, I had over 150 customers, and I had two people in particular that were challenging. They were good people. That's where I have to have you start, is to give people the benefit of the doubt. These so-called enemies, well, are they really bad people? Or is there just somehow a conflict between the two of you? I want to give people the benefit of the doubt and say, well, perhaps they're not experiencing love like I am in my life. And so what I've done is these people, my customers, who I wasn't quite getting along with, I said to myself, okay, well, they're good people. And now I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. And because they're not perhaps experiencing the love in life that I'm experiencing, and I have an abundance of love, not only for myself, but for those people in my life, I'm going to shower them with more love than they can imagine. I'm going to try to make up for the lack of love that they're experiencing in their life. And I'll tell you, it works. They say the easiest way to kill your enemy is to turn them into a friend. And yes, in the beginning it might be difficult because you don't speak the same language or you're coming from different points of view. But if you make an investment of time and of love, you will find that you can turn your enemies into friends and you can get along. Okay, the next step says this: you are a creative child of God. Many people believe that God is the creator of the universe, a creative force. I'm not trying to force God on you or to make you believe anything you don't believe, but if you're not in charge of your life, if you can't make change in your life, who's going to? No one's going to. And really what this card is saying, God is empowering you to be a co-creator. What is it in your life that you want? That's exactly what this movie, The Secret, says. What do you want? If you don't like where you're at, it's time to change. It's time to be a catalyst for change in your life. Don't wait around for someone else to do it. It's not going to happen, because if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. Makes sense. So, what is it you want? Now, this is very difficult for people. It appears to be difficult, but really, what I say is you have to go into your inner core of being. Who am I at my inner core? Well, here it's saying, remember who you are. Okay? You're a powerful, loving, and creative child of God. And deep within, we have values, we have things that we truly treasure, and we have goals, perhaps, we have dreams and desires. And these things are inspirations from God. They are important for us to be intimate with, to understand, because if we don't know what these things are, how are we supposed to move forward? How are we supposed to bring change into our life? How are we supposed to be creative? Anyway, the process is to pay attention. Listen to the intuition within. Listen to your gut instinct. Listen to your heart. Listen to your head. What are they telling you in these different situations in your life? What are your values? Do you want love? Do you want happiness? I just had a conversation last night with someone about happiness. And the question was, do you want it? And she says, I don't know. I'm not saying you have to, but I'll tell you, happiness is a wonderful thing. What's even better is joy. Joy is a dimension of happiness. A lot of people are happy, but very few people actually experience joy. They've experienced it, but it's this rare thing. And I'm telling you, you can have it if you put yourself into alignment with what you want. So if you want to go to Europe, you can't just go to Europe. You have to have a plane ticket. You have to have a passport. To get a passport, you have to have photos and an application. There's a process for receiving the things that you want and you need. So become intimate with yourself. I help people with this. I'm a life coach, and I help you to really ask questions of yourself. Who am I at the core of my being? And then we look at your actions. So if you value love, if you value honesty, if you value generosity, but your actions are other than love, other than honesty, and other than generous or generosity, you are in conflict. You're a hypocrite. So you're either going to change your actions to become in alignment with your inner core, which says, I value love, I value honesty, I value generosity. Or you say, nope, I don't value love, I don't value honesty, etc. And you continue to do what you're doing. But don't complain. Do not call me to complain that you're miserable, because you're the one who's in conflict. We need to be genuine. We need to be intimate with ourselves. We need to know what will bring us life. And without examining it, without making an investment of time and effort into this personal intimacy, it's going to be very difficult to be happy. Okay? So again, the card says, remember who you are. The last part of this card says, you are very loved. Not loved. You are very loved. You are a critical piece in this puzzle of life. We need you to be in alignment with your life purpose. We need you to be in alignment with love and happiness. We need you to be the verb that you're meant to be. We need you, if you know what that means we need you to move. We need you to get into action. Now's the time. It's time to love. It is time to be creative. It is time to be a catalyst for change. There's no more waiting around. Your misery is going to continue to be that way until you begin to actually act, to be the co-creator that you are. Remember who you are. You are royal. You come from the greatest source of all. You come from God. And they say, life comes from life. Yes, absolutely. But you are also a source of life. Are you a drain on the people around you? Are you a complainer, a whiner? How much positive energy are you giving out each and every day? Do you love yourself? Very difficult questions. And if you're honest, a lot of people who I talk to cannot answer, yes, I'm a positive person. They can't say that they love themselves. But you can't blame yourself. It's just because of society, and a lot of people are on this automatic pilot. But now that you're listening to this, the question is, do you want a better life? If you do, what is the life that you want? And then knowing that, put yourself in alignment. Follow the nudges. If people are telling you you should try something different or do something, do it. Try it. Don't be afraid. Fear disables you. Okay? So, if this sounded like a negative message, it's not. Hopefully it's a message of encouragement. We all have things in our life that we have to change. As we move along, we become aware of what's going on. You might not have known that you were miserable. You might not have known that you were on automatic pilot. It's okay. That's where you were. But now, you either like it or you don't. You have two choices. You can crawl under the rock and die and be miserable, or you can say, wow, okay, I'm not so happy. I want to change. And you choose to live. Remember who you are. You are created in the image and likeness of God. You are loved. You are very loved. And together, I've said this before, when you are strong, we are strong. When you are weak, we are weak. We need to be strong together. We need to love together. We need to act together. We need to be the verb. We need to go and do things. We need to show our love. Okay? Please check out my website at meetyourangels.com. There are many different articles and recordings there that are interesting, that might help you to actually bring about the change, to help you remember who you are, to help you find personal intimacy. And then, if you need help along the way, just to talk things through, to get some advice. If you'd like an angel oracle card reading, I have several different decks that I use. It's very interesting. It'll help give you a path or give you some encouragement on what are your next steps? What should you do? And so to get a hold of me, go to my website at meetyourangels.com. My phone number's there. I don't charge a flat fee, but I do ask for a donation of whatever you can afford. People can afford different things, so that's up to you. You can send me a PayPal donation. I also have an Amazon wish list where you can send me food. I have a couple books there that I'm interested in receiving as a gift. I also have a button to keen.com. I rarely log into it, so it might say arrange a call with me. And that is, they charge per minute, but Keen gets a portion of it, and I get a portion of it. You can do it that way, but I recommend just sending a donation via PayPal, because I don't watch the clock. If we need to talk for an hour, if we need to talk for 2 hours, I don't care. Whatever it takes for you to be strong, whatever it takes for you to know that there are people out there who care about you, that you have a friend in Paul. And together we're going to figure this thing out. Together we're going to live. That's what I want. I want to have love. I want to have happiness and joy. I want to have fun. And you should too. So let's do it together. Okay? So I hope you have a great day. Let your friends know about my website, because they need encouragement too. They need friends. They need love. Together we need each other. So let's have fun. Peace to you.